There is a silent thief that steals more lives than any tragedy ever could. It doesn't come with a loud bang. It comes with the quiet, suffocating fog of what if. You've likely spent weeks, months, or even years thinking about the changes you want to make, the career shift you're considering, the relationship you know has reached its end, or the creative project you've been afraid to start. But every time you stand at the edge of the choice, you feel paralyzed. You research more, you ask 5 different friends for their opinions, and you play out 1,000 different worst-case scenarios in your mind until you are too exhausted to move. We've been taught that careful deliberation is a virtue. We tell ourselves that if we just think about it long enough, we will eventually find a guarantee, a sign from the universe that we aren't making a mistake. But the ancient Stoics knew a harder, colder truth. Overthinking is often just a polite word for cowardice. It is the ego's desperate, futile attempt to control a future that hasn't happened yet. In your 30s, 40s, and 50s, the cost of indecision is far higher than the risk of a wrong choice. Every hour you spend in paralysis, by analysis, is an hour of your life you will never get back. It is energy you are burning to stay exactly where you are. Today, at Kindle Rise Motivation, we are moving from drifting to deciding. I'm going to share the Stoic 3-second rule and 7 principles for making high-stakes decisions with absolute clarity and zero regret. If you're ready to cut the anchor and start leading your life, let's begin. Law 1. The myth of the right choice. The primary reason you are stuck is that you believe there is a perfect path hidden somewhere in the future. You think that if you just wait for more information, more money, or more readiness, you will find the one choice that has no downside. Marcus Aurelius, who had to make decisions affecting millions of lives while leading an empire through plagues and wars, understood that perfection is a ghost. He wrote, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." You must dismantle the right choice fallacy. In any high-stakes decision, there is no perfect outcome. There is only choice and consequence. Stop asking, "Is this the right move?" Start asking, "Is this the honorable move?" Most people are paralyzed by the fear of loss of money, loss of status, or loss of comfort. A Stoic is only afraid of one thing, the loss of their character. If the decision aligns with your values and your integrity, it is the correct decision, regardless of the outcome. The rightness is in the choosing, not the result. When you realize that you can handle any consequence as long as you keep your soul, the fear of picking wrong vanishes. Law 2. The 3-second rule, the logic of prohairesis. In Stoicism, the most important concept is prohairesis, your faculty of choice. It is the only thing in this entire universe that is truly yours. Your house can be taken, your health can fail, and your reputation can be trashed, but your power to choose how you respond remains yours. However, the longer you wait to exercise this power, the more the noise of the world begins to cloud your judgment. You start listening to fear, to social pressure, and to the ghosts of your past. Implement the 3-second rule for clarity. This isn't about being impulsive or reckless. It's about internal alignment. When faced with a decision, strip away the external noise. Ask yourself, does this choice align with the person I am reinventing myself to be? Your inner compass, your daimon, usually knows the answer in 3 seconds. The next 3 hours or 3 weeks are just your ego trying to find a safer, more comfortable way out. If the answer is yes, then the debate is over. Use those 3 seconds to commit to the direction, and use the rest of your time to figure out the tactics. Speed of decision is the hallmark of a high-value, sovereign individual. Law 3. The premeditatio malorum of regret. We often think that by waiting, we are avoiding risk. We tell ourselves we are being cautious and responsible. But Seneca warned us, we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. The greatest risk in midlife isn't making a mistake. It is the risk of the unlived life. Perform a regret audit. When you are stuck between 2 paths, don't look at the immediate worst-case scenario. Look at the 5-year scenario. Ask yourself, if I am in the exact same position 5 years from now because I was too afraid to decide today, how will I feel? Usually, the pain of Staying the same, the rot of stagnation, is far greater than the pain of a potential mistake. If your future self would regret the silence more than the stumble, you have your answer. You must fear this stagnant life more than you fear the wrong move. Law 4. The dichotomy of decision, surrendering the result. Decision paralysis is almost always fueled by a desire to control the outcome. We want to know that if we quit the job, the next venture will succeed. We want to know that if we have the hard conversation, the other person will understand and change. Epictetus taught that we must distinguish between what is up to us and what is not up to us. You are 100% responsible for the quality of the decision, but you are 0% responsible for the world's reaction. Once you make a decision based on your values and the best information you have, surrender the result. If you decide to start a new business and it fails, you haven't failed. You successfully exercised your sovereignty. You made a high-value move in a world of uncertainty. The regret comes from not deciding, not from an unfavorable result. You can handle a bad result. You cannot handle the internal decay of indecision. You are a sailor. You control the sails, but you do not control the wind. Law 5. The view from above for clarity. In our 30s, 40s, and 50s, we tend to make our decisions feel existential. We feel like the entire universe is watching us, waiting for us to mess up. We feel like this one choice defines our entire existence until the day we die. This creates a cognitive fever that makes clear thinking impossible. Use the view from above to cool the fever. Mentally zoom out. Imagine looking at your life from the clouds. See your city, then your country, then the planets spinning in the silent cosmos. See the billions of people who have already lived and died, and the billions who will follow, in the grand tapestry of time. This decision, no matter how high stakes it feels, is a single ripple. It is a data point in a long life. When you shrink the decision, you expand your courage. Decisions are only scary when you make them bigger than you are. You are the mountain. The decision is just a stone on the path. Walk over it. Law 6. The cost of delay analysis, the theft of time. In Stoicism, we call this the theft of time. Every day you spend thinking about it is a day you are paying for with your finite life. You are literally trading your hours on earth for the comfort of not having to choose. This is a terrible trade. Calculate the daily tax of indecision. Ask yourself, how much mental energy am I losing every day by keeping this loop open in my head? Indecision is like having 10 tabs open on a computer. It drains the battery until the whole system crashes. Often, making any decision, even an imperfect one, is better than making no decision, because it frees up your cognitive energy to move forward, learn, and adjust. High performers decide quickly and adjust as they go. Dreamers decide slowly and never start. Law 7. The morning guard of resolve. Finally, once a decision is made, you must guard it. The world will try to pull you back. Your old habits, your well-meaning friends who are afraid of your change, and your own fear will try to reopen the case and start the debate all over again. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "I am a soldier in the army of my own character." Once you have used the 3-second rule and aligned with your values, close the file. Do not revisit the decision unless significant, objective new information appears. In your morning guard, reaffirm your choice. I decided this because it aligns with my sovereignty. The path ahead may be difficult, but the direction is certain. Confidence isn't the absence of doubt. It is the order of the soul once a choice has been made. You don't look back at the burning bridge. You look forward at the new land. In conclusion, reinventing your life is nothing more than a series of intentional decisions. The person you want to become is waiting on the other side of the choices you are currently avoiding. You cannot think your way into a new life. You have to decide your way into one. Stop asking for permission from people who don't have to. Live with the consequences of your life. Stop waiting for a guarantee that doesn't exist. Use the 3-second rule. Align with your character. Decide, and then move with the weight of a person who knows exactly who they are. Which high-stakes decision have you been putting off? Is it time to apply the 3-second rule and finally close the loop? Let me know in the comments. I love reading about the breakthroughs in this community. If you're ready to stop the drift and start the mastery, subscribe to Kindle Rise Motivation. Be kind to your mind today. Your choice is your power.